everywhere that Mary.
Hello, my name is Stephanie Bates. I am 5. I go to kindergarten. I would like to show you how to use a chart. This is a chart. You use it to write down how many times in a day you go to school, how fast you can read, and how many times the teacher has to tell the boys to stop running and making noise. See this Sunday line that goes up and down, and the Monday line right next to it? Do you see another Sunday line? The big heavy blue lines are the Sunday lines. Sunday lines are day lines. Do you see all the Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday lines, and Thursday lines, and Friday and Saturday lines? They all come between the Sunday lines. They all go up and down like the Sunday lines. They are day lines too. All of the lines that go up and down are day lines. These lines go across the chart. They tell you how fast you can do something. They tell you how often you do something in a minute. I would like to teach you a new word. The new word is rate. Rate is how fast you do something. We use rate on this chart. We use these lines to say how many times we do something in 1 minute. These lines that go across the chart are rate lines. See where the one line is that goes across? See the dot I put on this Sunday line? This dot means that I did something one time in 1 minute on Sunday. See the line just above the one line? That is a 2 line. See the dot I put on the 2 line where it crosses the third Wednesday line? That dot means that I did something on a Wednesday 2 times in 1 minute. See the other dots that I have put here and the numbers right next to them? I put the numbers here so that we wouldn't get the dots mixed up. Can you guess what the dots mean? Dot number 1 is on the 1 line. The line that goes up and down through dot number 1 is a Sunday line. Dot number 1 means that I did something one time in 1 minute on Sunday. Dot number 2 is on the 2 line. The line that goes up and down through it is a Tuesday line. Dot number 2 means that I did something 2 times in 1 minute on Tuesday. Dot number 3 is on the 3 line and also on a Saturday line. Dot number 3 means that I did something 3 times in 1 minute on Saturday. Now look at the rate lines again. The lines that go across the chart are rate lines. Look how the rate lines are in groups. I made red lines on this chart to show where the groups are. We call each group a cycle. There are 6 cycles on the chart. Now look at the numbers on the left side where the rate lines are. The numbers tell us how often we do something in 1 minute. Let's look at the cycle from 1 to 10 and tell what each rate line means. When we count up from 1, the lines mean 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 times a minute. In the next group of rate lines, the line above 10 is 20. In that cycle, the lines mean 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and 100 times a minute. In the next cycle, the lines mean 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, and 1,000 times a minute. The bottom half of the chart is for the things that happen less than 1 time in 1 minute. The numbers for these lines are decimal fractions. I don't know what decimal fractions are yet, so my daddy showed me another way to talk about the bottom of the chart, but it still means the same thing. Let's look at the bottom cycle that goes from 0.001 to 0.01. It tells how many times something happens in 1,000 minutes. The next cycle from 0.01 to 0.1 tells how many times something happens in 100 minutes. The next cycle from 0.1 to 1 tells how many times something happens in 10 minutes. I wrote 1,000 minutes, 100 minutes, 10 minutes on the chart by those cycles so that you know what they mean. See the dot I put on the 2 line in this cycle? The dot is also on the Tuesday line. The dot means that I did something twice in 10 minutes on Tuesday. See the other dots that I put on this chart? Can you guess what the dots mean? All of the dots are on Sunday lines. They show how often I did something on this Sunday. Dot number 1 is on the 1 line, the 10-minute cycle. Line number 1 in the 10-minute cycle is the same thing as the 10 line in the 100-minute cycle. Dot number 1 means that I did something 1 time in 10 minutes, 10 times in 100 minutes. Dot number 2 is on the 2 line in the 100-minute cycle. It means that I did something 2 times in 100 minutes. Dot number 3 is on the 3 line in the 1,000-minute cycle. Dot number 3 means that I did something 3 times on a Sunday in 1,000 minutes. Dot number 4 is on the 4 line in the 100-minute cycle. Dot number 4 means that I did something 4 times in 100 minutes on Sunday. Dot number 5 is on the 5 line in the 10-minute cycle. Dot number 5 means that I did something 5 times in 10 minutes on Sunday. Sometimes when you want to put a dot on the chart, there isn't a right line where you want to put it. What would you do? You would put it in the place you want it between the 2 closest straight lines. Look at the place where I put this dot on the Wednesday line. It means that I did something 15 times in 1 minute. Which one of these dots means that I did something 18 times in 10 minutes? Number 3 means that I did something 18 times in 10 minutes. That's almost the same as 2 times in 1 minute. Which dot means that I did something 150 times in 1 minute. Dot number 5 means that I did something 150 times in 1 minute on Tuesday. Every day when you count something, you put a dot on the chart. Then you draw lines between the dots. Some days you may not count anything, so you don't put a dot on the chart. If you did something and you didn't count it, then it is called an ignored day. If you did not count anything because you couldn't do the thing you were counting, then it is called a no chance day. I am going to show you an ignored day on this chart. See the Wednesday line where the arrow is? On that day I did something, but I did not count it, so I can't put a dot on the chart. So I just drew a line from the dot before Wednesday to the dot after Wednesday. That means that Wednesday was an ignored day. Now I would like to show you some no chance days on this chart. See the Saturday and Sunday lines where the arrow is? On those days I couldn't do the thing that I was counting, so they were just no chance days. To show a no chance day, you just leave the chart blank, and you don't draw any lines on that day. Now we have learned the things that are most important about charting. I would like to say them over again so that you don't forget them when you do your own charts. There are 140 days on this chart. The big heavy blue lines that go up and down are Sunday lines. The light blue lines that go up and down are Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday and Friday and Saturday lines. The lines that go up and down are all day lines. Way up on the top of the chart, there are M, W, and F for Monday and Wednesday and Friday, in case you forget what the day lines are. The lines that go across are rate lines. Rate is how fast you do something. These rate lines tell how fast you do something in 1 minute. This chart can show when you do something 1,000 times in 1 minute, or 1 time in 1,000 minutes. 1,000 minutes are about the same as 1 day. You can show how fast you do something by putting a dot on this chart where the rate line and the day line cross. Sometimes you have to put a dot between 2 rate lines, but you still put it on the right day line. This dot means that I did something 15 times in 1 minute on Sunday. There are 6 cycles on this chart from point 001 to point 01, point 01 to point 1, point 1 to 1, 1 to 10, 10 to 100, and 100 to 1,000 movements per minute. A movement is something that you do. Instead of calling the bottom cycles by decimal names like 0.001, 0.01, and 0.1, you can say that the bottom cycle shows how many times you do something in 1,000 minutes. The next cycle, how many times you do something in 100 minutes. The next cycle, how many times you do something in 10 minutes. And the rest, how many times you do something in 1 minute. You can draw 3 different kinds of days on this chart: rated days, ignored days, and no chance days. A rated day is when you count something. You show a rated day by putting a dot on the chart in the right place. A no chance day is when you can't do what you're counting. Just leave the chart blank and don't make any lines between the dots. An ignored day is when you can do something but you don't count it. Draw a line between the dots on each side of the ignored day. The arrow on the chart shows 2 no chance days. Wednesday in the next week is an ignored day. Now take your chart and a pencil. Write your name where it says protege or behavior. Write how old you are where it says age. Then write what grade you are in where it says label. Then where it says movement, write something that you do that you want to change. Then start to count how often you do it so you can put it on the chart. Thank you that I could come and visit you today and teach you about your chart. Have fun using it. Bye. Be good. She followed her to school one day, Hello, my name is Stephanie Bates. I am 5. I go to kindergarten. I would like to show you how to use a chart.